Hi, Jerry Anderson here. You know, I get a lot of emails, and by far the most common question people ask me is about getting into film school. Here is my opinion of film school. For anyone with talent and the desire to be a filmmaker, film school is a total waste of time and money. Let me explain it this way. If you want to be a doctor, there's a large amount of knowledge you need to learn. The only way to get that knowledge is by going to medical school. In other words, go to medical school, become a doctor. In the same way, if you want to be a lawyer, go to law school, become a lawyer. So what about film school? If you go to film school, don't you become a filmmaker and make lots of money and hang out with beautiful movie stars and become famous and party all night? Do you really think life is that simple? The fact is, amongst working filmmakers, a film school diploma is considered to be pretty much a joke. With a film school diploma, they might consider you qualified to bring them coffee. Hollywood doesn't hire people with degrees. Hollywood hires people who've shown they can do good work. That's a fact. So you're wondering, don't I need to go to film school to learn all the complex skills required to make films? Well, there are many skills you'll learn over time, and new technology always requires learning some new ones. But the main skills you'll need to create a film of your own are no way so complex that you need to spend years learning them before you can get started. Several of the top film directors have said you can learn everything you need to know about filmmaking in a few days or weeks. Robert Rodriguez claims you can learn it in 10 minutes. Do you think film schools teach using the latest exotic equipment? Even the best regarded and most expensive film schools in the United States typically teach using equipment that's decades out of date and not at all what's being used in Hollywood. Most of the students will already own equipment that is more advanced than what the school has. Do you think you'll be taught by top-notch working filmmakers? If you go to New York University Film School, one of the top 3 film schools in the country, I assure you, you will not be personally taught by Martin Scorsese. You are going to be one student in a large room with many other students being taught by someone who maybe once made a small documentary film 10 years ago that never got distribution, and he's still waiting for a grant to come through so he can make another documentary. I'm not making this up. Ask people who've been to NYU Film School. They'll tell you what it's like. Do you believe you'll find work in Hollywood after you graduate doing exciting creative work? Ask the film school you're considering how many of their students they actually place in the film industry in good jobs with livable salaries. They don't want you to ask that question, and you probably won't get a straight answer. The fact is that film schools are very profitable for the people running the film schools, as long as people keep making the assumption that film school is somehow necessary to get started in filmmaking. Well, by now you may be feeling discouraged about becoming a filmmaker. Should you give up your dreams? Not at all. Not for a minute. My recommendation is that you save the time and money you were going to spend on film school for making your first films. That's the quickest and surest route into the film industry. Start watching for my next video where I outline some real alternatives you have available for becoming a filmmaker, and all of them will cost you much less and take less time than going to film school. Until then, happy filmmaking.